Kickoff is here. It is a very good evening to the voice of rugby league, Ray Warren.
Thank you, Erin, and hello, everyone. Well, after a brilliant, resurrection of this competition, last night was equal to the task as well. A wonderful night for the fans watching, and thousands of people watching it on Channel 9. Thank you for doing that and staying with free-to-air last night to watch that match out of Brisbane between Parramatta and the Broncos. That brings us, of course, to another of the big matches this weekend between the Roosters and the Rabbitohs. Foundation clubs, bitter arch rivals, as South Sydney prepare to come out. And, of course, next-door neighbours, these two clubs, who simply don't like each other. The Souths, of course, winners of more premierships than any other club versus the defending premiers and world champions, the Sydney Roosters. Adam Reynolds, the newly appointed captain, takes South out. Gus, the six again, people keep telling me how it's going to favour this man, Damien Cook.
Yeah, well, he's already one of the marquee players in our game, but many are saying with the new rule changes, fast play the balls and more fatigue, he could end up being the most dangerous attacking footballer in rugby league. If you could deny that, he's certainly one of our great players and a lot of excitement. A little man who took a long time to get through to first grade, but has made his mark. A representative class footballer. What will the new rules bring to his game? What does he bring to the South Sydney Rabbitohs in what I think is shaping up as a new era of rugby league?
Well, I was only thinking, as we see one of the Burgess brothers, in fact, the surviving brother of the Burgess brothers, as the Roosters prepare to come out, going for a three-peat. And, of course, no Cooper Cronk, and Kyle Flanagan takes his place, Andrew. It's like coming into bat after Bradman.
Yeah, exactly. And the 12th game tonight of NRL. There he is, Kyle. With the new rules, especially at 6 to go, the kicking game of the halves is so important, especially the attacking kicks. He's smiling, so hopefully he's smiling after 80 minutes, but his kicking has to be on tonight.
Son of Shane Flanagan, the former Cronulla coach. Players just pausing to again remember Arthur Summons. Played in 3 grand finals with Western Suburbs, lost all 3 to the great St George, and of course a part of that Proven Summons trophy that was captured by John O'Grady. In fact, he captain coached the Kangaroos that first won a series on English soil in 1963. So here's the man that's been highly documented. Probably there's been no bigger transfer from one of these clubs to the other and vice versa than Ron Cooter, I was going to say, but Latrell Mitchell, of course, has copped plenty of publicity as players pause for a remembrance of Arthur Summons. Roosters players wearing black armbands tonight in memory of Mitchell Orbison's father, Brian, who was farewelled at a funeral today. A great man and a leading identity in the firefighting world up in the Northern Rivers. So Friday night football for VB is underway, and the Premiers, they bring the ball out from inside their own end of the ground, the Leagues Club end of Bank West, with Daniel Tupou, who plays on the left side. Here's Jared Wairia-Hargreaves, and he gains about 5 metres before being put down on the second. Now for Radley in jumper number 13. So Victor playing the ball in the centre of the ground. He was put down over there by the prop forward for the Rabbitohs, Tavita Totola. And 5 tackles gone now. Ashley Klein is the lead referee. Totola making a tackle that was viewed by the referee. He called it okay as Johnston brings it back to the 30-metre line down south end of the park, southern end of the ground. And that is is Gagai, I think, coming in from over there on the right side to take a run. This is Burns, and Braden, who'll play the ball 40 metres out from his own line. South Sydney, they beat the Roosters in the 2 regular season matches last year, but they lost the big one. They lost the qualifying final before exiting the finals in September, and of course the Roosters going on to win their second premiership. So they've been the defending premiers for a couple of years now. As this ball comes down in the direction of Brett Morris, who's playing on the right edge tonight for the Roosters. He and his brother reunited after playing together against with the Bulldogs and the Dragons, and of course tonight they're reunited with the Roosters. Their 81st game together. Ball played by Tupou. Wairia Hargreaves then getting it up towards halfway. A couple of those tackles went high, and it's a penalty. It's a penalty to the Roosters.
Liam Knight, young bull, old bull there. See the contact here. Liam will go in late, and he'll get up high and get Jared Wairia Hargreaves in a headlock. Poor discipline there.
So Jake Friend playing in his 21st South Sydney Roosters derby, and this is Collins in the run on side for Lee Yu. Takes it towards the middle of the ground, 30 metres away from the South Sydney line. A period of defence then for South. The Roosters back rower Radley playing the ball, and it's gone away to Keary, and he gets it on. And the Roosters are 15 metres away from the line, being played there by Cordner. They come to the right side again for Radley. Goes back to Keary, gets the ball to Crichton. And Angus will play the ball. Close to the line, they're only about 7 metres away to the middle of the ground for Radley to dummy and then be put down by Damien Cook on tackle number 5. The ball from the dummy half, finding Keary again. He puts the kick up, and Tupou's got the ball and comes down. Daniel Tupou, he's got himself a try. A beautifully placed kick from the number 6, Luke Keary.
It was a beautiful set by the Roosters, and then Keary juggles the ball and just steadies himself one-on-one Tupou with a leap over Gagai. There's only ever going to be one winner there. It's Keary. Look at this beautiful kick. Tupou just too tall.
They did really well here, the Roosters outside backs. When you get the high shot looking from side on, you'll see that the ball goes behind Keary. Keary has got to stutter a little bit and take his time. And the Roosters, to a man, stood their ground, stepped back a half step before chasing the kick. Otherwise, they'd have been in front of the kicker. They did really well to time their run. Tupou, who was an expert at it, got the reward.
Maybe when they're in that position defending their line the last play, the young centre, Campbell Graham, who's around 6'4", 6'5", maybe he should change with Gagai to compete in the air, because once he gets a run up, Tupou, it's only going to be one winner.
So young Flanagan about to take the conversion of the Daniel Tupou try. Tupou, of course, one of 6 Origin players in the Roosters side. And young Flanagan now in position to take the conversion. About 10 metres in from touch and about 23 metres out. That's what he's looking like from the touch judge point of view, and it looks as though it's good. So we'll take a break and come back.
Stay behind, not early.
So as you come back to us, the ball in flight on the restart, going down into that corner, the northeast corner of this ground. which is going to get plenty of use this year, no doubt about that. It's come at a very good time. Well, Brad, Daniel Tupou, an early try.
Yeah, we've seen that so many times. Just using his height. Great kick by Luke Keary. And also the goal kick, Kyle Flanagan. If you remember the World Cup, he didn't kick so good to the point where Siwa Takiaho took the ball off him towards the end of the game. But nailing one from the sideline, just perfect for his confidence.
Radley then. Lindsay Collins cracks it across the halfway line. The boot of Flanagan. And it's gone high and deep down to Alex Johnston. So he'll play the ball 10 metres out from his own line. Now for Mitchell. Played about 50 minutes at fullback in rounds 1 and 2. In the second game that I'm referring to, he moved to left centre. 22 minutes of the game remaining. So it'll be interesting to see how he stands up to the rigorous task these days of playing fullback. That's Totola, right on the 40-metre line. Reynolds. And that is Jaden Sewer from the Broncos. Play back to Mitchell, now to Reynolds, now to Burgess. And Tom Burgess playing the ball inside the 30-metre line. Damien Cook does a little bit of dancing. Has a little inquiry of the Roosters' defence there. Sewer putting the kick in, it'll go dead. So that's a bad kick.
They got a 6 to go for a ruck infringement that set. I think it was the Campbell-Graham run. And it is so important, if you get the 6 to go, the end of the set, because you can apply so much pressure to the opposition. That time, Jaden Sewer puts it dead. All the pressure is let off.
So Brett Morris just outside his 30-metre line. And now it's with the player of the year, James Tedesco. Jared Wairia-Hargreaves taking it up towards the halfway line. Jake Friend. Radley runs across and links up there with Collins. So Lindsay Collins plays the ball. Keary then runs to the line, gets it to Cordner. Cordner will play the ball just outside the 20. Back for Jake Friend, then to Luke Keary. Little kick. South Sydney covering it up, and that's young Dargan.
Goal line drop out.
Yeah, beautiful kick there. Latrell Mitchell at fullback. It's behind the ruck. You see at the top of the screen there. Keary looks up and just dinks it in behind that no man's land between the fullback and the winger. And you get a repeat set. And once again, the kicking game. Down the other end, South Sydney put it dead. That time Keary inched perfect.
Before the line, mate.
The line drop out taken by Adam Reynolds. And it's gone on from Flanagan to Wairia-Hargreaves. They play it on the 30-metre line, opposition end of the ground naturally. The long ball away for Flanagan to go short to Collins. Down the middle of the ground come the tricolours from Bondi. And here is Flanagan again with Keary, and the ball goes to Crichton. He tried to get a ball down to Tedesco. It's gone to ground. Flanagan plays the whistle. And Ashley Klein is now ordering a knock-on, I do believe, against the Roosters.
Yeah, made a little half break here, Crichton, and he's turning the wrong way. He probably needed to flick this out the back rather than try and turn his body to find his centre partner. Just turned a little bit too late. Tedesco couldn't get a handle on the ball, but again, dangerous play from the Roosters on the edge.
If you still want to support your team, the NRL are providing fans the opportunity to take their seat within the stands. For just $22, you can have your photo just like these. printed on a 100% recyclable cutout and placed in the stadium. $1 from each purchase goes to Gotcha for Life, the foundation. That's right, the Gotcha for Life Foundation. And you simply go to nrl.com/fan in the stand. God, that's a mouthful.
It's so lovely to hear your voice, Rabbits. I've missed you.
Come on.
I've missed you.
Thank you. Thank you, yes. That's very nice. 15 metres out from their own line now, the Rabbits. And 6-0 the score. The first try of the game coming for Daniel Tupou. And an injury there for Totola. So I think Nichols has gone on for Souths.
Yeah, Totola picked up an injury. He was putting some pressure on Cole Flanagan 5 minutes ago. And when Cole kicked the ball, I think that it be a knee to the head.
So that's Braden Burns. Jumper number 4.
And here it is.
That was the tackle on Kyle Flanagan, which was examined fairly closely by the referee. He was happy enough to let play go on though. This is Nichols playing it for Cook. And Cook comes across to Knight, who gets it back to Dargan on debut. Troy Dargan, Cabramatta Jr. And now it's come away from Cook and it's gone on again to Burns, and they're getting close. They're only about 7 metres out from the line. 5 gone against the Rabbitohs. And Cook, he double pumped, he got it to Dargan. Oh, beautiful pick-up by Tedesco. And James Tedesco will eventually play the ball. Once they lifted the leg, that was the end of the section, though.
That was a terrific grab by Tedesco, down low to his left. He was travelling at some speed too. Scoops it up before it hits the ground.
My goodness, it's a heavy tackle on Tupou. Took it okay, though. Cameron Murray involved in this defensive challenge on Wairia Hargreaves. Now for Cordner, hard, and he got jammed up in the tackle by Burgess and Nichols. Kicks out of dummy half, Jake Friend. Taken then by Alex Johnston down on this western touchline. Johnston, 35 out from his own line. The ball finishing up with Latrell.
With no crowd here, the noise on the impact, it's frightening.
That's Gagai. Well, of course, when you get a crowd, it tends to drown the effects microphones out, and you don't get that volume of effects microphone with the hits. Damien Cook then, wide ball to Dargan, and he gets the ball back to a run there by the South Sydney second rower, Cam Murray. Dargan, who played Australian schoolboys, Troy.
Great D!
He's just come off 2 years of Queensland Cup. Manu.
Well, there's no doubt there's a lot more physicality in this game than the couple of games we've seen so far, which have been played very fast. This is continuous action, it's good, but it's physically very, very tough. They really are challenging each other at the advantage line, and the body collisions are huge.
Friend taking it right to the line, picked up by Tedesco. Now they're just outside the 40-metre line. They go to the blind side, and Flanagan puts a grubber in. Brett Morris is after it, but coming across is Mitchell. So it's a penalty. Crichton has overindulged in the defence and took him out after he'd been tackled.
That was brilliant work by the Roosters. You know, just talking about the heavy collision, and the rucks were being controlled pretty well. All of a sudden, you get a couple of quicker ones, and Jake Friend bounced out a dummy half on both of them. Got over the advantage line, brought his players with him. On last play there, he gets it to Flanagan with plenty of room to move. Nearly comes up with a good result. Latrell does well to stay in the field of play. That is give him another little nudge, only because it's Latrell, I suppose.
Once a player has been tackled or actually surrenders, you can't drag him across the touchline. You can't drag him across the touchline. You can't drag him back into his own in goal. So Klein got that ruling absolutely correct. Cook, Reynolds, long, out to Graham. Graham almost to the halfway line. Playing it back for Gagai with the hair closely cropped. And the ball comes out, so it's going to be a knock-on. Loose carry is deemed by the referee.
They're pretty wary, these two teams. They're not getting too adventurous with the ball in attack. They're certainly just working through their sets and trying to fatigue each other out.
Don't miss Friday night knock-off straight after the game. Freddie catches up with key players from tonight. Gal and Billy, they fire up the analyzer and break down those key moments. And the Friday Five returns as our experts dive into the biggest issues in rugby league. It could be there for some time. Bradley, a comment sideline.
Yeah, as Dane Gagai ran in there, as Gus was mentioning, it was Jake Friend down low and Jared up top. There's no soft contact in the middle. And I was watching the footy last night from the studio, and you had that wonderful sound of the crowd in the background that became really hypnotic and took your mind off the fact there were no people here. Now, sitting on the sideline, the thuds from the tackles and the slaps of the bodies coming together, just a massive reminder why you retire. Like, it's awful.
Jaden, arms around Cameron. Cameron, arms around Jaden. Behind your half, Adam. Out.
You see the completion rates there, 9 from 10 and 7 from 8. So possession here, both coaches have stressed it. Hold on to the ball. Don't give your opposition penalties. Don't give them repeat sets. And then eventually the strongest survive. This is a real arm wrestle at the moment.
Crichton it was with that carry. Wairia Hargreaves now. Crichton, of course, was shaping as the centre replacement for Latrell Mitchell. Playing in the second row tonight, though, in the absence of Mitch Orbison. Cordner, talking of him, he'll play the ball. 15 metres away, they go to the short side. Here he's knocked on. And that's advantage to Souths with Graham.
Yeah, they were brewing to something there, the Roosters. Now they've compounded their error with a penalty. But they just got a couple of quick play the balls in a row, and all of a sudden Jake Friend ducks down the blind side, the short blind side. That's his favourite play. And unfortunately the pass to Keary was a little too low.
Liam Knight picking up some pain. That's where to put it, I think. Graham taking the tap. Nichols might have been lucky to dodge the shoulder of Cordner there. Reynolds offloading again to this man, Liam Knight. He's really making a name for himself in double quick time, Liam Knight. Tom Burgess. And Damien Cook now for Troy Dargan. And he'll play the ball on the 30-metre line. Cook to go to Reynolds, comes back to the middle for Knight. And Liam playing the ball about 25 metres out. They're going down the centre of the ground, Souths, and running towards the Leaks Club end of the ground. Reynolds got it away, Mitchell gives it on, Graham cuts back in, and he's tackled a metre short of the line. And that's a handover.
Just wait, guys, stay back here.
And that's a good surge from Campbell Graham. Wasn't much on for him there. Latrell Mitchell gave him a short pass. He's really surged his way towards the try line.
Morris. That's Josh. He's a handy man to have in your team, isn't he, Josh Morris? He's always been regarded as one of the best defensive players in our game. They were very, very lucky and very fortunate to to acquire his services, and Mitchell has made a knock on.
Well, having lost Latrell Mitchell during the off-season, they obviously weren't going to get an attacking player like him back, but what Josh Morris means is you won't get beaten down that left edge. Latrell Mitchell coming across there to pick up that kick and just took a little one-arm grab at that. That's a loss of concentration there. That can come from a little bit of tiredness. There's a lot of players out there at the moment just starting to get hands on heads, hands on hips, sucking in a bit of oxygen. It's been constant action, very, very few stoppages.
It was an appreciable reduction in the time of the game last night. I'm not absolutely sure of the figures, but even though there were only 5-6 agains, the time of the match from start to finish was appreciably lower than would be normal. Here's Radley. Surrender tackle gives the defenders a chance to work them over. Here's Collins cutting back inside off a good ball provided by Flanagan. Slotted in nicely, Kyle. Now it's gone from Keary to Flanagan. Lofts the ball over the top. A Harbour Bridge pass. Brett Morris. He's a couple of metres out from the line. And here's a chance for Tedesco, a dummy. And I think he's held up.
I was just about to say, we haven't seen much of Tedesco yet. He's been wandering across the back of the field there and really hasn't got himself involved. Took on the opportunity there from dummy half to have a little bit of a dab. But danger signs for South Sydney here. A little bit of tiredness, I think.
So Flanagan's kick to Reynolds, who immediately finds the ground. And he'll play it a couple of metres away, as you can see on that picture,
Done well
from his own try line.
Done really well, Reynolds. You could feel Jared Waria-Hargreaves coming. Turned his back, caught the ball and went straight to ground. That was really smart.
Gagai. It's the 10-metre line just behind him. Damien Cook weaving a passage, getting it almost out to the 30-metre line.
He doesn't need much room, does he? Standing start, he is so quick.
And he's most dangerous when he runs into dummy half off a Murray run. Cameron, I think, regarded generally as the quickest of the play the balls in rugby league. And that's what Damien loves. He loves to capitalise on a quick play the ball.
Well, all the dummy halves in the NRL, they've got one or two favourite players in their team that they sweat on their quick play the ball. Some players are quicker than others. And they know when they have the run to be waiting for the opportunity. If they can keep a marker out of position or just laying down a little bit.
Tupou! Good metres, got the ball away to a supporting Keary. Keary's got a player on his right and his left, but he can't unload. Taken to ground. 2 metres away from the line. South's under enormous pressure as it comes to corner. Now it's with Jake Friend, able to stand and offload. Waria-Hargreaves will try and do the same. They really had South Sydney stretched right there. Played by Waria-Hargreaves. Friend away, Flanagan in. Manu was with the ball. 5 tackles gone against the Premiers, and then Friend. And he's put down. That's the end of the tackle count. Changeover.
Well, the Roosters bomb one there. Luke Keary, beautiful line break off the Daniel Tupou pass. And if you're playing with the Roosters and you're in a line break situation, it's only a matter of time before Tedesco turns up down the middle. And you can see Tedesco screaming on the right-hand side. He's under the post, but Keary runs away from him, not knowing that he's in support, and there's a bomb try to the Roosters.
So Tom Burgess playing the ball. Liam Knight just short of the 20-metre line. South Sydney, a real let-off for them there. Tedesco, as Gus said, he was in absolute open space, and Keary looked like he was going to go to him and then thought, I'll have one more go back this way, back towards Josh Morris.
Watching last night's game, Parramatta Broncos game, it was around this time when Parramatta really started to offload the ball. Took so much petrol out of the Brisbane team. And he go forward with some offloads. It's so hard to defend.
Tupou, good break by him just a minute ago. Here's Keary. He'd be cursing himself, Luke. a real competitor. Bashing himself up at the moment, I would imagine. Cordner, 28 metres out from the line. Friend across to Radley. Oh, wild pass on the toe by Burns, and another one by Burns. And chiming in is Alex Johnston with Joseph Manu, and Manu to play the ball.
Well, that was brilliant from Joseph Manu. Brilliant control. He actually knocked it backwards a couple of times before he secured it, but on the slippery surface, sliding backwards like that, pick up the ball the way he did, was brilliant.
Brad Fittler.
Yeah, Braden Burns went for the second kick because he heard Alex Johnson screaming up on the outside. He told him to kick it. If he got a good boot to it, Alex Johnson's no sorry a chance to beat him to the end goal area, but didn't quite work out that way. He's a noted speedster, Alex Johnson.
Played by Butcher, given by Friend, and kicked then by Keary. High. Plenty of time for the defence to come down the ground. Mitchell takes it safely. And Flanagan, Manu and Crichton make the tackle on Latrell. Johnston pulled down by Friend. Over the top was Lee Ewell. Now for Gagai. And Dane will play the ball 25 metres out from his own line. You're watching VB Friday Night Football. Live and free on the 9 network. And Damien Cook again challenges the Roosters to come to him. The ball is swept along the back line. Graham is with it now. 40 metres out from the Roosters line on 5. Reynolds taken by Morris legitimately. Comes down to the other of the Morris brothers, Brett, with the ball inside the 20.
There's some real fatigue in this game at the moment, watching players trying to get back on side. And this is all new to a lot of these players. They haven't experienced the games this quick with this faster ruck. And the challenge is to be able to play to attack when you're tired. Here goes Tedesco.
Tedesco taken by Totola, who's back into the game. And now for Cordner crossing to halfway. Boyd playing the ball on the 40-metre line. The way it goes to Keary. Came off a South player, didn't play at the ball. South will get the feed here with the ball coming off a player who didn't play at the ball.
All right, tonight again we've got the VB hardest working player index. Special formula, Victor Radley, no surprise there in both an attack and defence. He's performing well. Lindsay Collins, Crichton, all Roosters at the moment.
Let's go, guys.
9 runs for 64 metres and 16 big tackles. No soft tackles in Victor Radley, they're all big ones.
He's opened up a scalp wound in doing so tonight. It's been treated a couple of times, but still quite an amount of blood coming from the wound. So they'll be lucky if he actually makes it to the half-time break without being noticed by one of the officials.
Well, 27 minutes in, and there's definitely tiredness out there at the moment. You feel like there's a line break coming at any time. The big men are really struggling to get into position.
Dargan getting it away, and Ethan Lowe has joined the game. Totola, stand and pass. Perfect example of what Gus is talking about. The middlemen are really struggling to keep up. Here it is back to Dargan, left foot kick in the direction of Tedesco on his own 10. He's taken by Lowe in 15 and banged into the ground by Mitchell. Take a bit of this, mate.
Fullback on fullback. What about the power of Latrell Mitchell there? Tedesco, he's still a big man. He's up around 97, 98 kilos. Latrell just absolutely ragdolled him.
Latrell's gone out onto the left wing for a breast. He sent Johnston to fullback. He's now defending on the wing.
So here they come again with Radley to the line. Keary out the back. Tedesco gets it on. Josh Morris away. Daniel Tupou. He's been collared. He got the ball back into Brett Morris. It's gone on the ground and it's going to be a try. Oh my goodness, that's good. Flanagan has scored. Let's see what he's got to say, Ashley Klein.
Coming here. We have a try. Let's confirm the kick chase is onside.
He's confident, Cole Flanagan.
From the last
We'll soon find out if he's a fibber.
Well, I don't think they're worried about the put down, Andrew. I think they're more worried about whether he was onside from the kick, because they had support players back inside. They're all waiting to get back behind the ball. Morris kicks.
Yeah,
he's fine. He did well there, Cole Flanagan. He anticipated it might be a kick rather than a pass, and he just kept himself onside.
It was a nice piece of play by Morris.
Yeah, brilliant ball movement by the Roosters, and that's what both Andrew and I have said. You could feel the fatigue, and all of a sudden a bit of a ball movement coming out of trouble at your own end of the field, and they've caught the South Sydney defence napping. Really well played by Morris.
Yeah, Keary tips to his lock here, Victor Radley. Victor Radley will get the ball. You'll see Keary out the back, tipping to him. Play me out the black. Gets the ball. Keary, Tedesco. There's that combination. Tupou frees up down that sideline. Beautiful pass inside. Morris looks up. Good skill all round. But it was the combination. Radley, Keary, Tedesco. That's a challenge for teams now, to be able to play off kick reception footy when you're under fatigue, and to get in shape, get plays in formation, put pressure on the opposition.
Kyle Flanagan, an attempt to convert his own try, and it couldn't be better located for him. Right in front of the uprights was the end of a magnificent try. Had a touch of everything in it, beautifully executed and converted.
Stay behind, guys. Straight for the whistle. Pretty close that last one. Yeah, thanks. Stay behind, guys.
So back at Bankwest Stadium, and you're watching VB Friday Night Football. 12-0 in favour of the Roosters.
Yeah, there was some real signs of wear and tear in the South Sydney side. I mentioned that Latrell Mitchell went and parked himself on the wing for a breather. He sent Johnston to fullback. A couple of the forwards had hands on hips, and they just couldn't get across there, and left the outside backs in two minds as to whether to come forward or retreat. And they retreated at the wrong time. Gave Tedesco and Morris space to get their wingman away. Bradley Fittler.
Yeah, on the other hand, I've been watching Kyle Flanagan the last two sets, and at one stage you could have knocked him over with a feather. He had nothing in his legs. The only thing he kept doing, he just kept tilting his head forward and supporting forwards like he's doing right now. He was gone. And then when I popped up and saw him down the other end of the field scoring a try, I wasn't surprised. He's just gutsy, and he's just pushing himself to places where his body's never been before.
Danger signs here for South Sydney. Roosters get a set start. 40 metres out. This is when they go into their formation. They pattern the play.
So Lee Yu playing the ball, and Radley taking it down to the 20-metre line. Yu again reaches the 10. 12-0 in favour of the Roosters with 9 to go to the break. Tedesco. Roosters getting dangerous again. Keary intercepted by Burns, and Burns is outside the 30. Here's Morris coming fast. He gets the ball back, and away goes Johnston, and the winger Brett Morris pulls him down as well. That's a brilliant piece of defence. Now it's gone away to Burns again. He started this and he's tackled 9 metres out from the line. Johnston, long looping pass to Reynolds, opening the ribcage. Dargan giving it to Lowe. 15 metres away from the Roosters line. 32 minutes of the game gone by. The 19 is out there now for South. Tomamoni. And here's Cook getting it off now to Nichols, and he'll play it a couple of metres out. Pulled down by Friend. Last tackle, South. And they come deep away to Reynolds for the kick. Chases on for Burns. It's been made dead by Morris.
Well, if you want to know why you win back-to-back premierships, it's in the sort of defence that we just saw there from the Roosters. Luke Keary with a poor pass at one end of the field puts South Sydney on the attack with the intercept.
Gus,
but watch the chase and the reset here
look
from
at
the Roosters.
Cordner. Look at Cordner at the top of the screen there.
Yep. Now, Burns probably made a mistake out of dummy half here. He probably needed to go to his right. He took a dummy and went down the left-hand side. But every Rooster player was just about back on side by tackle 2. They defended the next 3 tackles, put pressure on the kicker. They've diffused it. They've got to get through another set. But it's that mentality to chase, to get back and support each other and be in position that wins you back-to-back premierships. That was just scintillating.
How good have the Morris twins been in the last 5 minutes? Josh playing a major part in the Flanagan try, and then Brett, a Herculean performance from him in defence on the other side of the ground. So South Sydney, with 7 minutes before the break, has come away from Amoni and gone to Dargan. Dargan to Burns, playing a prominent role at the moment. Braden Burns, they're just outside the 10. It's Murray. Cameron held down by Jake Friend. Damien Cook gets it away. Dargan pushes. Reynolds goes on. Graham with a fend, but he's got Josh Morris to contend with, and he's not about to lose the battle. So Gagai. Reynolds goes back to Lowe. Lowe to Gagai. Gagai close to the line, and it's a penalty.
He's got Luke Keary for offside, but again, it was outstanding defence, cover defence from the Roosters. And now the tackle count starts to get up. This will be their third back-to-back defensive set.
Nichols again. 8 metres away from the line. They're down 12-0, the Rabbitohs. That's Totola, the front rower. Right in the goal mouth. And Cook turns it around to Amodi. Now comes down to Burns.
Offside, Joseph Cole.
He's got Joseph Manu for being offside.
Wait, no more 10 metres.
Those last 3 sets, Victor Radley was involved in nearly every tackle. And they look like they're going to score. There he is offside. And Radley coming across and scrambling. It's incredible.
Ashley Klein just warned the Roosters captain, Boyd Cordner, about the 10 metres. He said no more, so they're on a warning for repeated infringements. And this is Tomamoni, a couple of metres out from the line. This will take all their defensive skill to hold them out. It's back for Reynolds. Reynolds got it away to Dargan, and Dargan is manhandled and put away by Manu. Played back to Cook. Cook away to Mitchell. Mitchell short into Murray, I think. And did he get the ball down? I don't think so. He might have lost it. South are celebrating. Did he ground the ball?
He's saying try. And it's good play by South Sydney. On the previous play, Joseph Manu came screaming out of the line from right centre, makes the tackle on Dargan and stays at marker, which means he's not back in his position. The ball comes to Latrell Mitchell. He gets one-on-one with Kyle Flanagan. And we'll have to get a check as to whether or not he gets that down at the second grab. He doesn't get it down the first time. No, second time there's a little bit of a bobble. No grounding there. He'll roll up and he'll try to put it down with one hand.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. It's more or less on the or under the wrist or something in that area. So it would seem that they will agree here with Ashley Klein. His initial call was try. I just thought for a moment it might have spilled out to that.
Well, they needed that South Sydney, Andrew, didn't they? With all the possession they've had.
Well, it was a beautiful piece of play. Lovely pass from Latrell Mitchell. Watch him double pump and holds the ball up. If you get the camera from back on, Isaac Liu in jersey 10. Double pump, he bites in, which then gets Cam Murray one-on-one with Cole Flanagan. Nice piece of ball playing there by Latrell Mitchell. The double pump, holds it up. It's a back rower. Cam Murray one-on-one with a halfback. Nice hit back.
It was a good passage of play for the Rabbitohs, and it started with that poor pass from Luke Keary at the other end of the field. He virtually threw the ball to young Burns. Burns was up in the defence line. He threw it at him. So it was a really simple intercept, and they haven't seen the ball since. Four back-to-back sets of 6 in defence. Now they've finally conceded a try.
Didn't they need it too? They really been on the back foot. Roosters at 12-0, and now Souths get it back to 12-6.
Line. Just stay behind. Just wait for that time, James. Stay behind, guys, not early.
So back at Bank West, and we're getting close to half time. South Sydney grabbing a converted try with half time about 2.5 minutes away. Mark Nichols. You have head bandage out there at the moment. Mark Nichols, Tola, Ethan Lowe. Souths then out towards the 30-metre line. It's Cam Murray, the try scorer. Cut down by Crichton. Cook finding Lowe. And Ethan will play the ball just short of halfway. Play back again for Damien. Gone away to Dargan. Puts a kick, driving it down to Tedesco. Tedesco bringing it back as far as the 30-metre line. There's Brett Morris playing on the right edge. Getting it out towards the 40-metre line. Now for Tupou. That's Butcher. Flanagan back to Crichton, who's able to unload it to Manu, and Manu will play the ball 20 metres out from the South Sydney line. And here's the kick from Keary, going down towards Gagai. He's got it covered. So it's a free run out to the 20-metre line for Dane Gagai.
Be very careful. Oh, Bradley again.
Leave it, control.
Gee whiz, that's a harsh penalty.
Okay.
Dane Gagai's run 40 metres there to take a quick tap to get absolutely poleaxed by Victor Radley. What was the hurry?
Reynolds then finding the line.
Careful here, the Bunnies.
So Dargan.
That's
him again.
Well, Victor Radley looks like he's watched South Sydney train all week. He knows exactly who's getting the ball every time.
That's Totola.
What do you reckon Victor Radley's body will be when he hits 32?
Reynolds, low, wild pass bouncing away to Gagai. Gagai rounded up over there by Josh Morris and Nat Butcher. Now for Reynolds, shapes to kick, holds it back, dummies, gets it away. Murray with the ball, got it on, back to Dargan, then back it comes to Cook. He's able to get rid of a would-be tackle, puts a little kick in. Tedesco goes back and he's forced in goal. So 12-6 to score in favour of the Roosters at half-time.
Welcome back. You're watching Nine's Wide World of Sports. It's time now for the second half between the Roosters and the Bunnies. Hello again, Ray Warren.
Thank you, Erin. And, of course, the Roosters leading by that 6-point margin. And it was a try that they really needed. They were looking very tired and out of it, really, but it was a try that was scored by Cameron Murray at exactly the right time, exactly what the doctor ordered. 12-6 at halftime as Boyd Cordner brings them back, the Premier.
Yeah, we're getting a real test of the new rules tonight. In the two games we've seen already this weekend, there's been a superior team that's got the better of another one and run away on the scoreboard. But here tonight, both sides are up over 85% with their completion rates. Their ball control's been really good. Their discipline is good. They're not giving away penalties and 6 again restarts, which means the ball is in play longer, and that's the fatiguing factor. The collisions have been tremendous, like real physicality about this game. Some tremendous efforts in defence. Neither side setting the world on fire with their attacking game, but the defences have been outstanding. This is really evenly matched game at the moment.
The sound of Ashley Klein's whistle takes us into the second half between these arch rivals for something like 112 years. 112 years they've been arguing and bluing about something. And just inside the 20-metre line, it's with Tomamoni. Now for Cameron Murray. Very good players, Cameron Murray and Victor Radley. They're not overly big. And the speed of the game we've seen from last night and tonight, it's being moulded more towards that size of forward. The quicker the game, of course, the more preserved I think the game becomes for the smaller person. Ball bouncing away down to Brett Morris.
That's a really good point, though. Really good point. People talking about the little playmaker coming into his own, the little half 5'8" and fullback, and that's no doubt it's a factor. But the smaller forward is really going to come into his own too. The man who can carve out 80 minutes week in, week out and be there on every play. Life really hard for the big tough man now.
Matt Butcher reaching the 40-metre line, his own end of the ground. Tedesco joining in, typical Tedesco. Cast in the same mould as a fella called Slater. Wants to be a part of everything all the time. That's the way fullbacks have to be really today. Friend cleaning up as the Roosters go down towards the 30-metre line. Here's Tedesco again, breaks free, goes inside the 10, still going. Does he get the ball down? I think he does. James Tedesco talking about him wanting to be involved. If he plays backyard cricket, he'll jump the fence and field the ball for you.
Yeah, on the back of an offload. Josh Morris, little investigation down the left side by the Roosters. Morris gets tackled at tracks 2, throws it out the back, and then pass, find your strike player. Tedesco, broken defence, speed, power, fend. What a player. That's a play.
Brilliant stuff.
Well, he's just explosive. We've seen a bit of this already this weekend. Clean line breaks by individuals, just pulling through fatigued defenders. Second half might have only been going a couple of minutes, but you know, there's carryover fatigue from the first half. The ability to get yourself started again.
The red, white and Roosters, the eastern suburbs team, east to win home.
You little beauty. It's our man at home. Who was that?
He's enjoying himself.
Fans at home sending in their, now they're supporting. Look at the people's faces behind the What are they, Rabs? $22 to get your picture on a cardboard cutout.
Yeah, and a dollar out of all that reaches the Gotcha for Life Foundation. So you'd be assisting that wonderful organisation if you want to join up with those portraits or whatever you call them.
I saw a pet dog on one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the breed?
No, it looked like a collie, like a border collie or something. I'm not real good unless it's a greyhound. I don't know most dogs' names.
Kyle Flanagan from 5 metres in from touch, on its way, going across the face, no goal.
Stay behind, guys, not early.
So back at Bank West Friday night football for VB. 16-6 in favour of the Roosters. Starting the season badly, 0-2. Brad Fittler, a comment sideline.
Yeah, we haven't really spoken about conditions. Across the grass, you can see a thin layer of dew. Because there's been no breeze at all. Jake Friend through the middle race.
And he goes to the halfway. Here's that man again, Teddy Tedesco. Got under the tackle of Mitchell, but he's rounded up eventually by Murray and by Damien Cook. Friend then away to Keary, back inside for Radley. And Victor Radley will play the ball 10 metres away from the line. A lofted ball finding its way through Flanagan and Keary, and now with Manu, and he's taken down by Johnston.
That was a big tackle from Johnston, that one.
There's Keary. Kick in towards the centre of the ground. It's raked back and battered down by Cordner. Came down to Friend. Kicks again, and it actually comes in contact with one of his own players. And it's gone into the end goal, and it's a changeover directed by Klein.
People talk about fatigue, you know, and you think, oh, well, you go to the halftime break, you have a drink, freshen up, and you're going to be okay. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you've spent yourself so much in the second half, and then you have a break. It's hard to get started in the second half. It's hard to get your breathing and your legs going, and that's what's happened to South Sydney here. They're still in the dressing room. Bradley?
They're just back on the conditions, and there's a little level of slipperiness that it's not bad enough where you're going to lose your footing, but what it is, if you don't concentrate, you might just drop the ball, or you might just slip off that tackle, as you saw in the James Tedesco, and here we go, as you see in this tackle. And on before we were saying, Gus and Ray, about the little man in the middle. If you watch the game on Thursday night, Junior Paulo was the best player in the field. He's 125 kilo.
Yeah, but he's got lungs like a walrus. He's a rare breed, is Junior Paulo.
He only played 57 minutes straight.
Yeah, well, he's got lungs like a walrus. I told you before, he could sit on the bottom of the pool for an hour. He used to go on those school swimming races. He'd sit on the bottom and wait for him to come back and just bob his head up. He's quite a freakish athlete, that man.
Contact here on Ethan Lowe. Keary goes in. Point of Keary's shoulder hits Ethan Lowe.
Have we got a challenge here, or we just got an injury?
Just make sure you wait till the ball's out of the scrum, guys.
It didn't look like there was too much in that. But South Sydney have not come out of the dressing rooms. Their heads are in the dressing rooms. Mr. Bennett needs to go downstairs, get their brains out of the dressing room and get them back out there on the field.
Okay. Beat down. Out.
So the Roosters with Josh Morris playing the ball just inside the 30-metre line. South end of the ground, Lee Yu. Isaac playing it back to Jake Friend. Keary goes with him. And then he gets the ball inside for Cordner. And Cordner is over the line. He has a couple of goes and gets it down.
Yeah, the Roosters have come out bristling, and South Sydney had just not lifted for this second half. The fatigue of the first half has played on their minds, and their bodies just haven't recovered left. Carey, a little dash across field. Cordner on his hard line. Just too much for Reynolds. Muscles his way into the in goal and flips over to put the ball down. Good footy, Joey.
Beautiful footy. Gets over the advantage line, Carey, with his speed. Dictates the defence. And because of the speed of Carey, Reynolds takes his eyes off Cordner. And for a fraction of a second, he's looking at Carey. And when Carey passes, he looks back up Reynolds. And where he thinks Cordner's running to his outside, Cordner appears back on the inside and goes straight through. That was incredible play. It looked easy, but there's so much subtlety in that play, the way Carey got over the advantage line. And if we can see the high shot, the way that Cordner went from the outside of Reynolds and then comes back on the inside. Carey will get over. Changes his line, Cordner goes back to the inside shoulder of Reynolds and just too strong. Great ball playing by Carey, but great line running there from Boyd Cordner.
So the Roosters stretching their halftime lead to 20 points to 6. And Kyle Flanagan with the attempted conversion. He's been kicking excellently in this game tonight. So 22 to 6 will more than likely be the score after he gets that job done. It is. So Latrell Mitchell kicks off again for South Sydney. Practice that he doesn't necessarily want any more of it. Had little respite from really the Roosters. Let South Sydney in for a try just before half time, but as Gus has said, South haven't really come out of the sheds. The Roosters have lifted a gear. It was in the process of saying that their start to the season was 0-2. I was reading today that, oh, that's a big shot. Big tackle there by Tomomomi, I think it is. In fact, yes, it was. You hear that.
Oh, he's rearranged his ribs. And Tedesco just straight back up like a rubber ball. Look at this. Crack. Oh.
I was hearing Paul Gallen talk on one of our shows during the year about the hardest player to tackle. He said James Tedesco is the hardest man he's ever hit. He said it's like granite. And he said he's all elbows and knees and pumping legs, and he said, but he's rock hard.
Tom Burgess. Since they went to the compulsory grand final in 1954, the only team that has got away to a season start of 0-3 were the Cowboys. And they won their only premiership.
Started 0-3 and ended up premiers.
That's right. They started 0-3 and finished up premiers. Only 3 sides have actually made the grand final off a 0-3 start. And only one of them has won, of course, and that is the Cowboys. But tonight, the Roosters have come here with a chance of also being 0-3 in an abridged version of a competition.
Well, it was their big complaint when the game went into lockdown and then started to restart. Their chairman, Nick Politis, was arguing it should be a whole new draw, a new competition. The first 2 weeks shouldn't count. And his argument was that, you know, in the opening 2 weeks of the competition, in a 26-week competition, the Roosters decided to rest a couple of players, including their captain, Boyd Cordner, thinking they've got all season you know, to get themselves to the finals. Boyd Cordner didn't play the first 2 rounds. They lost both. Now it's a shortened with only 18 weeks left, and they're saying, well, it's not really fair because we made our selections in our team preparations on the basis of a 26-week competition. But anyway, can't get your own way all the time. Bradley.
Yeah, and the way the second part of the competition has been run, the fact that the 6 undefeated teams play each other in round 1, the Roosters, if they go on to win this game, will only be 2 points out of the top 4.
I think what Nick was saying, though, is going to be almost impossible to make the top 4. Looking through their roster, they could win the comp from 8, 7, 6 or 5. There's nothing preventing them from doing that.
I think the chairman was being very cagey. I don't think he was ever going to get his way, but he was firing up his own troops by saying, well, yeah, that's not fair. So he's been around a while, has Nick Politis. He's just firing up the troops.
I know. No, he's been a wonderful chairman and leader of the Bondi club. I've got no problems with that. But to talk about a fair draw, it won't be a fair draw until we actually play each other on 2 occasions. And the larger the competition gets, the less likely it is to go that way. I'm trying to remember when we did play each other twice. But,
well, I think the last time would have been back in the early 80s.
Yeah, you're probably right. You know the point I'm making.
Oh, there's a... This is Bailey Sirenen. He goes in for a tackle. And the footwork of Angus Crichton, he gets in an awkward position. I think he catches a knee of Angus. Tough boy, gets straight back up. Goes down for a low tackle and just hits the hip of Angus Crichton.
Gets the head in the wrong place, doesn't he? This is the younger son of Paul.
Boom. It might be the end of his night. No, bravely he's got up. I'll be pretty strict on this. He's saying, I feel all right. But that's not the rules anymore.
I remember calling him in a schoolboy game. He was playing 5'8", like his older brother Curtis. He came through as a 5'8". You always knew he was going to be really a big man when he filled out. His dad's a giant. Gone into the forwards, but he was a really skillful 5'8". Freddie?
Yeah, and on the Roosters side, Victor Radley's just come off and Jared Woodea-Hargreaves went on, and Liam Knight will take the place of Bailey Sirenen.
Tackle 4, time on, go.
So the Roosters, with Woodea-Hargreaves put down just inside the 30-metre line, his end of the ground. Flanagan gets a kick away under a challenge from Ethan Lowe, taken by Johnston, gets out to the 40-metre line. That tackles up around the head, and it's a penalty going to South Sydney.
Well, here's a chance for South Sydney to go from a set start and construct something with their attack and get back on the scoreboard here. They desperately need a try just for their own confidence.
It's on report. Woodea-Hargreaves. High shot on Alex Johnston.
Got a fair rap sheet now, has Jared.
He's a bit wobbly himself. Liam Knight, he's only just come on, hasn't he? He was involved earlier in another incident in the game, but he's got some claret coming from the mouth, and it is a head call from the trainer, so he'll be coming off.
Well, they need something here, South Sydney. They've just lost a couple of troops. Well, they do have a penalty 40 metres out from their own line, and they need a try. A little bit of a head clash there with Jared, or might have just got a forward on the forehead. Certainly rattled him.
By the look of it, he's not wearing a mouth guard.
He's caught the elbow, I think, more so than the forward. So Jared, Wairia-Hargreaves has been put on report for the tackle on Johnston. I'm sure of that, but just watching that in slow-mo, I'm wondering whether the big fellow might have contacted him with the forearm, which he uses as a bumper bar, to put it kindly. Watch this space may well be the advice, as Reynolds gives a short ball to Tom Burgess. Middle of the ground, 30 metres out, running towards the southern try line as Cook turns it back into Amoni. 15 out from the line. Is Dargan. Now for Cook. Back to a second man play for Murray to shrug off a tackle. Picked up by Cook, no knock on. The ball has come down now to Sewer. And Jaden will play the ball. 5 metres out from the line. Cook finding Dargan. Dargan rolls it in, lowers after it, but Manu forces the ball.
Leave him.
Well, this is where their try came from in the first half, getting a repeat set, putting the Rooster defence under a little bit of pressure. My ever-reliable stats man tells me that we had a full draw of home and away in 2001. I don't remember that. Do you?
You're talking to us?
Yeah, it must have been a long year.
2001. That would have been, what, 16?
Might have been 14, was it? Oh.
Jake Friend is being escorted. Let's go down to the ground, Brad.
Well, that's the third in a couple of minutes. Just on the South boys, Bailey Sirenan, because he went in before Liam Knight actually gets an extra 10 minutes. So the doctor will go to Bailey Sirenan and assess him. That'll take up to 15 minutes. So Liam Knight could be anywhere up to 25 minutes in the shed. He can be cleared earlier and he can come back earlier, but he gets up to 25 minutes.
Tom.
Well, we're delicately poised here. If South Sydney are to make a finish of this, they've got to turn this little period into points. This is their third set of 6 in a row.
Tedesco's line dropout, carried back by Burgess. Just outside the 30-metre line, tackled by Isaac Liu. Dargan pushes the ball along the line to Amoni. No gain in ground, appreciable anyway. Here's Sewer working on the short side of the ruck. Playing it for Damien Cook. Fires it off to Adam Reynolds. Goes behind Burgess running a block. Then it's gone on from Dargan. It's with Mitchell joining in. And Latrell to play the ball 9 metres away from the line. Burns. And then Dargan sweeping it along the line to Reynolds. And now to Amoni. Trundling ahead. 5 gone. Red and green. Reynolds getting it away. That's Murray. Bent over awkwardly, losing the ball. Liu has got it. He's okay, Cameron Murray.
Yeah, they're so well organised defensively, and they have so much trust in each other. It's so hard to break down. And it's coming to play the Roosters, especially at night, on a slippery surface. You can't think you're going to pass your way to victory.
Cordner operating down the short side, linking up with Josh Morris now. Josh Morris has played, or he's playing, should I say, against South Sydney for the second time in 3 matches. He was at Cronulla when they played the Sharks. Josh Morris has been able to build up, I would imagine, a fairly good understanding of South Sydney. Backpedaling to take this ball is Mitchell. Here's Latrell out to the 20-metre line, just beyond it. Held there by Keary. Ball going away to Burns. Pass It was a bit low for the tall youngster. Cook going to the low. So Ethan swarmed over by a trifecta of Roosters. Now for Burgess. Halfway line, centre ground. Well, there'd be a question mark on the marker there. Ferrells is out there replacing Friend. Here's Burns again with the ball, popping it down to Cook. It's gone away to Dargan. Dargan throws a long ball. That's Jaden Sewer. Keary's after him. So is Morris. A quick pass of beauty to Graham. Graham's got the fullback to beat, but he's pulled down from behind. Now they're just outside the 10 on 5. It's with Dargan. Crosses the 10. Now it's with Burns. He puts a kick in behind, and it's been made dead by Brett Morris.
Just watch the desperation here from Daniel Tupou to chase back and make this tackle on Campbell Graham. Some beautiful play by South Sydney, releases Campbell Graham. But Tupou, who'd gone up past the ball and will turn and chase back on the inside, comes up with a grab from behind just to make sure there's two in the tackle and let the Roosters defence reset. Had a chance here, South Sydney out to the left. Burns gets the grubber kick in. Morris diffuses it. This is South Sydney's best chance in the second half. They've got to score points here.
Gee, I tell you what, defensively, I said it in the first half, defensively, the Morris twins have been brilliant tonight. Some of the things they've performed have been absolutely outstanding. This is Tom Amoni on the 20-metre line.
It's been good, Amoni.
He's been busy. Reynolds. Now it's with Dargan. Then Burns, or yes, it was Burns linking up back into the middle of the ground with Mitchell. 12 out. South desperate for points. And Murray will play the ball. They're going to hit the short side again. It's with Sewer, and the ball goes to ground. What's he going to rule here, Klein?
Yeah, the defence has got a hand to this.
In the middle, guys.
I think it comes off Morris to go into touch anyway. The South Sydney are really starting to put some play together here. There's the pass. Tupou gets a hand to it. It comes off Morris's legs. Yeah, 2001, there were 14 teams. If you remember, South Sydney were no longer in the competition, and the Titans weren't with us at that time, so we had 14 teams, and they played home and away 26 rounds. Long time ago.
Well, if that be the case, and it was the case, it's a fair draw. Here's Dargan with a tap along. Johnston picking up the ball for South. 8 metres away from the line. There's Dargan again. Burgess up the middle, running into Wairia Hargreaves and Butcher. Isaac Liu involved. Cook then, and now to Murray. Murray back to Reynolds. He's taken down by Brett Morris. So South inside the 10. Burgess! And he didn't get it down, I think. It looked like it came down on the leg. And Ashley Klein, what's he saying?
Okay, Jared. We have a try.
He thinks it's a
Confirm
try.
we maintains possession when he grounds the ball.
Well, sustained attack. This is their 4th or 5th centre in a row. Penalties and a line drop out have given them a good run of possession here. And the big fella Burgess. I think they're missing his brother Sam.
Yeah, no,
He gets it over the top.
he gets it down. He gets it down on his own hand. There's no drama there.
Yeah, they badly needed that one. This gets them back within 10 with the conversion.
Well, they've been down there for half an hour, haven't they, really? Well, it seems like. So a try to South and to Tom Burgess. Kept peppering away, and eventually this.
They've looked to go around him on a lot of occasions, trying to play around to the edges, and both tries tonight for the Bunnies. Keir Murray, short pass off Latrell Mitchell. Tom Burgess that time, short pass off Keir Murray. It'll look to go wide, but then the little short passes dig in and go again.
Andrew, these little players like your Cameron Murray, your Victor Radley, your Jake Trebojevic, these forwards that can ball play on the edge of the field, how important is that today?
Well, it frees up the half. But it gets...
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I saw. Yeah.
Stay behind. Help!
From the restart.
Wait here, wait! Go.
Co-commentator, he's actually found proof that there was a dog on one of those portraits over there somewhere.
It's there.
Brad, sideline.
Yeah, no wonder South Sydney just re-signed Cam Murray to a long contract. You saw his versatility in the first half, scored the try off the short pass off Latrell playing left back row. Then he threw that nice little ball to Tom Burgess playing in the middle. That's most probably where he's most valued, I believe, but just showing his versatility. He's a fantastic player.
Reynolds. Blindside, a high kick down to Tedesco. Beats Gagai. Gagai comes again to halt his progress. And Tedesco to play the ball. Back for Kyle Flanagan. It's Daniel Tupou.
Well, South Sydney have had the last 6 sets of 6 in this game, and you can see a fair bit of tiredness now in these Rooster players.
Tupanua.
Coach Trent Robinson has gone to the bench to bring in a fresh body.
Lindsay Collins. So, 22 plays 12. And, 16 and a half minutes of the game remaining. Ball going down to Mitchell. Heading out towards the 30-metre line.
Well, if South could just manufacturing something in the next 5 minutes, it sets us up for a big finish, because they've done a good job to get some tiredness into the Roosters defenders.
Sunday afternoon in Chemist Warehouse footy. 2 undefeated clubs go head-to-head as the Panthers and the Knights face off at Campbelltown. Our live coverage begins here on 9 at 3 p.m. Hosted by James Bracey, who, did you tell me he part owns a racehorse that won yesterday?
Yes, one today down in Goulburn.
That was nice of him to tell us.
You've lost that yourself, put him on the
Well, he's a
ground.
new owner. He hasn't learnt the art of tipping yet. That was bad luck for South Sydney. They were really starting to build some pressure. The VB hardest working index. Let's have a look and see who's on top here. And there he is, Victor Radley. Just in front of Cam Murray. Tom Burgess has made a bit of a comeback here, the Rabbitohs players, haven't they? And Victor Radley, smiles all over his face, can't wait to get back into the action.
I just want to smash someone. Or I just want to get smashed. Oh,
What do you think? He's a masochist.
He's going to have a hard old day. He's going to have
Here's Tupou. Verrills a dummy half using Brett Morris. He'll play the ball on his own 40-metre line. And Verrills keeps it going to the right, picking up Crichton.
Victor Damascus. Sounds good.
That's Collins. Now they're 7 metres into South's area. And here's Radley going away to Keary. No look, and eventually tapped on through Morris. It's found Tupou. Well, that was deft.
That was really crisp, wasn't it? Looked more like a basketball team than a football team.
Oh, look at this shot. Fraction after he kicked the ball, Johnston has forced the ball.
Well, what about this kick? They've got a line dropout out of this. Kyle Flanagan under all sorts of pressure as he kicked. Came from the right-hand side of the field knowing Keary was out of position to get to a kicking. And he's come up with an absolute perler.
Well, as he's kicking this, is it Bailey Cyril?
Yes, it is.
It'd be like T-Rex coming down on you, Jurassic Park. He would hear the footsteps, but he still gets a kick away, finds space, and gets a repeat. Incredible kick.
So here's the ball coming down to Daniel Tupou. And he'll play it 15 metres in from the western side of the ground, playing it back for Luke Keary. Collins on the burst, and he'll play it 25 out for Verrills to go open side through Flanagan to Wairia Hargreaves. Now they're 20 metres out, and the Roosters leading by 10 points, 22 to 12. It's gone away then to Tupanua.
Shot clock on, in the middle, guys.
So the scrum has been ordered to go into the middle of the ground off the team that's got the feed. Brad?
Yeah, just giving an update on the interchange. Both sides are at 5 each at the moment. Jake Friend's just on the sideline, so he can come back on and still be 5. And I just saw the big South Sydney front row, Taverta to Tyler. He's about to go on for someone. And remember, Liam Knight is also in the dressing room still at the moment. So a lot of debate about how many players and how many interchange we should have. There's plenty going on at the moment, I must say.
That's fine, guys.
Ashley Klein
Head in.
not happy with the scrum. Breaking before the ball came out. Both sides actually wanted to part company with each other. This is Ethan Lowe. 25 metres out from his own line. Joint tackle from Crichton and Collins.
6 to go.
That is Sirinen. Totola. Damien Cook back for Murray, then to Reynolds. Long pass. Gagai swooped upon it, crossed the halfway. He's down on the 40-metre line. Dane Gagai. Reynolds again, pushing it on to Murray. Murray cut down by Collins. Played quickly. Cook loves that. Away he goes, out to the left, picks up Dargan. Dargan coming back in an arc-like run. He'll play the ball under the tackle of Tupanua, just inside the 20-metre line. It's gone on to Reynolds. Reynolds on to Sewer. Sewer back to Mitchell. Mitchell gets it back to Gagai, and Gagai is put down. And that is changeover time.
Well, a couple of really slick passing passages in that lot there from South Sydney down this right-hand edge. And twice they nearly got the Roosters' left-hand defence, who have scrambled well. I've got to say, physically at the moment, South Sydney look fresher. They didn't come out of the dressing rooms too good, but the weight of possession in the last 10-15 minutes has really helped them. And they're fired up coming off the defence line for some big hits.
Here they are, the Chooks.
And again, boys! And again!
Out to the 20-metre line. Coming away from their own end of the ground. Tedesco. Taken down by Cook. Together with Murray. Then Radley got it away to Tupanua. Jolting tackle. Just feel it biting into the player carrying the ball. And then Flanagan kicks it down to the left side for Alex Johnston. 30-metre line underneath the attacker. And it's gone then to Braden Burns. He runs into Crichton and Brett Morris without gaining too many metres. Out with Mitchell. And Luttrell is going to be made to play the ball 5 metres on his own side of halfway. Now Sirinen to Reynolds. Reynolds getting it on. And South Sydney down on the 40-metre line as Cook turns it back inside for Reynolds. He drops it down for Graham. Penalty.
front of you. Penalty over there.
Well, he took a quick tap here, Damien Cook, and the referee told him he wasn't allowed to do it, but he's got himself hurt in the process.
No, well, I had the player in
I
front.
think he's just got a knock in an unfortunate area of the body here.
Tried to play the ball. Whoever was out played the ball.
Real handful there for Victor.
The player wasn't in front of him. Referees panic a little bit about quick taps.
Cook getting it away. That's Sirinen from the HIA very quickly.
The try here makes it interesting.
Here's Reynolds offloading to Sewer. 5 metres away from the Roosters line. Cook fires a pass on to Reynolds, then to Burgess. Burgess getting rid of it to Sirinen. Cook again. Out in front of Mitchell, but Keary was right up on top of him. 5 gone then for South Sydney. Cook with a long ball. Reynolds puts it in behind. Cleaned up by, I think it's Tedesco.
Oh, once again, that was brave. Incredible skill to pick that ball up. 3 or 4 Rabbitohs players coming through. And Tedesco just dives for the ball. We've got knees or anything. Look at that.
Yeah, that's right. He's put his head down there where people could have been kicking at it and trying to knee it forward. No self-preservation. Bradley Fittler.
More action on the sideline. Liam Knight's back for South Sydney, but Wayne took Cam Murray off. With 8 minutes to go, and he put on Tom Burgess, so maybe just a short rest for Cam and a bit of a spurt at the end, maybe to hopefully win the game for the Bunnies.
Crichton. Putting the ball just outside his own 30-metre line.
Cam Murray playing on the edge. There's a drop ball there. Playing on the edge tonight, playing wide. Once he gets back in the middle, South Sydney can get some plays around Cook at a dummy half and Cam Murray and Latrell around the ruck.
Okay, Jared. We're coming
Very
up to
dangerous.
tackle
We've got a
soon.
captain's challenge here.
We have a captain's challenge. The decision was a lost ball in the ruck by Jared Hargraves.
Maria Hargreaves just takes this up and the ball comes away from his grip. And the captain is challenging as to whether or not it was a strip. If anything, it just gives the Roosters a little bit of a break here.
Is it Bailey Sirinen getting
Bailey
out?
Sirinen getting back on side, knees the ball out of his hand, but I think they'll deem that a loose grip. There's no deliberate strip of the ball. Oh, wow.
Yes, it's going to be a penalty to the Roosters for interference in the ruck.
Big call. That's a big moment right there. It's 22-12. We've got 7 minutes to go. Roosters have made a fumble coming out of trouble, and they've overturned that. Great captain's challenge. They've overturned that and got themselves a penalty. So instead of defending 6, they'll pick up territory and an extra set of 6 tackles. That's a big captain's challenge, Rabbits, isn't it?
It is, and Jake Friend, who's in charge at the moment, with a successful challenge, of course, he still retains the deal, if I can use that word. So you're only allowed one unsuccessful challenge, but Jake is still in the chair. He's still the president. Collins.
Well, I think it's a harsh call, but it's a great challenge. He's got a really good result out of that one.
Now for Radley. I don't think he would have gone there had we been not at this stage of the game. We're 6 minutes out from full time. It's an appropriate time to use the challenge. Tedesco around and back and then pushing and fending and now looking and zipping. Zipping his way through. He is fending him. He's like a rubber ball. He's up and down and like a fiddler's elbow, in and out. 2 metres out from the line now. And Friend puts a kick in, came off South, and now it's come back to South. So it's play on.
There's a lot of tired boys out here. I don't know if South have got the easy close one in the next few minutes, but there's a lot of tired boys. They haven't played for the best part of 10 weeks. Restricted preparation coming into this with that amount of time off. New rules. Fewer stoppages. Good tough game of footy.
What do you think the main message, Gus, is going to be from coaching, from the head coach, when they get back assembled at training next week, having had a taste of this new, if you like, this new look game we're playing?
Discipline. Hold on to the ball. Restrict your penalties. Don't be giving away penalties. You know, the 6 again is a far more harsher penalty than stopping the game, kicking for touch, resetting your defence line. It just takes more juice out of you. Now, to stop giving away penalties and make sure you don't, you're actually speeding up the opposition attack. So there is no doubt it's creating more fatigue.
So does the wrestle coach still have a job?
Well, of course they do. But it's just not going to be as pronounced. It's not going to be a major part of your psychology.
You don't think it'll play as well?
No.
Tedesco. Jake Friend. A dart out from dummy up. He's going to make it. Well, he's done it all on his own, the skipper.
Well, Latrell Mitchell is fullback. He's in a wrestling match with Kyle Flanagan back play. It was a challenge.
No one run over.
The tackle by Latrell Mitchell on Kyle Flanagan when he played inside Tedesco. And they proceeded
Come on, guys.
to have a wrestle.
Yeah, mate.
Well, if you want to see the effects of little men coming into their own late in the game and the fatigue, just watch the South Sydney players here. Latrell Mitchell with a late tackle. Now, just watch Jake Friend. He runs here into the middle of the South Sydney forwards. No one can come forward, grab a kick, and they just let him go through and they're all standing still. They're absolutely out on their feet, and the little man from dummy half does a grubber kick and regather in the 75th minute of the game to produce a try and secure the victory for his team. And the opposition forwards are just out on their feet. Brilliant work by Jake Friend.
He's had a big couple of minutes, Jake Friend. He was the one, if you remember correctly, that fired in the captain's challenge on behalf of his team. They got the challenge successful, and then a matter of 3 minutes later, he scores a match-sealing try.
Well, that's the biggest use of the captain's challenge we've seen in the NRL so far, because that changed the whole complexion of how we played this last 5 minutes. South Sydney could have been on the attack from 45 metres out from a scrum win. Instead, the Roosters get a penalty, fine touch, and come down, and at the back end of it, a dispirited South Sydney can't hold out the little hooker from the Roosters, and he gets the match-sealing try.
It's had a huge effect on this last 4 or 5 minutes. That successful challenge by the number 9 certainly hasn't been putting his head in too many scrums. He's basically made a wonderful decision with the challenge, and then he's scored a lovely try. So Kyle Flanagan converts. So the short or shallow restart from Souths. But they're down now by 28 to 12. And here's Tedesco stepping out of a couple of tackles. Now he's held by Totola.
Big tackles the last few minutes by Latrell Mitchell. Contact there. Tedesco, that was big contact.
What about his overall performance, Andrew? A comment?
I think he's been really strong. I think his combination's going to there's an error there by the Roosters. I think his combinations, it'll build. I think his match fitness will build. think they're still struggling to how to use him in attack. The halves, how to use him. As I said, around the ruck, if you can get some work with Cook and also Cam Murray around the middle of the field, could be really dangerous. But he's had a red-hot crack tonight at the track.
Coming up after full time, we've got the Friday night knockoff, and Freddie will catch up with tonight's key players. One of them possibly Latrell Mitchell, I would guess. Gal and Billy, they fire up the analyzer and break down the key moments. And the Friday Five returns as our experts dive into the biggest issues in rugby league.
After the hell call.
Penalty goes here to Souths, but it is now just purely academic. 28-12 and a matter of 20 seconds to go in the game.
Let's go, keep going, keep going, keep going.
They've had the penalties tonight, 9-4 to Rabbitohs.
It'll be interesting in the knockoff. It'll be interesting to hear what Billy has to say about the individual performance of Latrell tonight. Whether it's improved since rounds 1 and 2 in his mind. So here's a loose ball, full-time siren sounding anyway. It's come down to the Roosters, and Ashley Klein blows full-time with the Roosters winning 28-12.